Kesoglaso idreptot daor. Indari vali sirisis, indari vali pontalosit gamuti idrepti. Gente geve gerele idrebletas, cogrondo gevo hedre. Drepti.
Beziez agirigle.
Scrosso gevi broza?
Torco nudo.
Torgo nudo.
All unsullied boys are given new names when they are cut. Grey worm, red flea, black rat. Names that remind them what they are. Vermin.
Hezer broza geve gemele idrebletas. Menteri e vanie e vesteletas keskido sogamagon. Gadbag aohe gregugas. Avi hoskas lue broze e vesteletas. Munya ao teptas lue brozi e amilie tolie.
Torco nudo hocas pezi. Same broji beri. Si broji es bezo senestas kimbroto. Quinile si broji melezesco mazedas terrari vabustar. E torco nudo sagi broji es bezi egitovi. Deneris gelmasmo. Si teptas, si derve.
Hey guys, Peugeot here. Welcome to another video. Today's video is a little bit special and it's about the newest commander in the game that has been added just a couple of days ago, and I'm talking about Grey Worm. Finally, we got a commander that is from the Game of Thrones universe, from the series and the books. Many people have been waiting for that, and I'm going to show you what you can use the commander for, what he's good at, and how to get him, of course. First of all, how to get him. As you know, we had the update a few days ago, and after that we got the Awakening turntable right here, and as usual you have the chance to spend some black diamonds to obtain the commander. Now, through this turntable you need to spend roughly between 35 to 45,000 black diamonds, depending on your luck, to get the commander to 4 stars. This is currently the only way to obtain him, and of course you get 3 free attempts, 1 per day. Today is the last day, so I'm gonna try my luck and see if I get a medal or not. Unfortunately I didn't, but I will try to get him when he is available in the future. Then, as you use the wheel, as you progress with the quality of Grey Worm, you will get a little bit more medals, reaching additional qualities, and of course some tokens. So that's how you obtain him. Now let's look at his stats. Now you will notice that first of all he is replacing Jaime Lannister. That's the important thing, and he has the same type of stats: the spear defense, spear health, and total attack, just like Jaime, so it can be a proper replacement. But the stats here are higher, corresponding to the fact that this is a premium commander. When you awaken Grey Worm at 4 stars, what you're gonna get? The spear defense will be 80%, also the spear health will be 80%, and the total attack will be 40%. Additionally, from the additional stars you will get a little bit more of these 3 stats. Then let's look at the skills. First of all, let's talk about the strategic skill, which I believe will be a game changer in the Siege of Winterfell. Let's read it. The attack and health of the spearman led by the commander increases by 1200% for 5 seconds. Now this is not amazing, but it's great to have. But then the second part of the skill is really the game changer, which says when the commander leads the troops into battle, there is a 30% chance of causing damage with a coefficient of 500. Unlike Jaime, who could basically attack twice at the same time, here you have a chance to deal additional normal damage. And the really important part is that he slows down the target by 30% for 4 seconds. So if you have more people with Grey Worm, means that when you are attacking the bag, no matter how fast the guy with the bag is, he will constantly be slowed down and killed. So this will change the dynamic of the Siege of Winterfell matches a lot. If people cannot actually count on fast cavalry marches to deliver the bags, because now there is a way to slow them down by quite a bit so they can be killed. Now I'm guessing people will have to develop a new strategy, probably a very strong march that cannot be killed easily, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm very much excited to see what this will change the strategy to. And of course you get 240% of the spear stats, which is also good. Then let us look at the guard skills. And now what I've noticed is that the guard skills, usually people overlook those when they get a commander, but here I believe he will be a great addition for fighting rebel leaders. And let me show you why. First of all, the first skill is that he is doing piercing damage to the enemy target and stuns it for 3 seconds. Now, it's very important to concentrate on the fact that this is piercing damage, meaning that it ignores defense and it cannot be mitigated by damage reduction. It means that this damage will always hit, and when you combine it with other damage increasing effects, it can become quite big. And of course the stun, it means that you can use him instead of other commanders that usually provide stuns, such as Robb Stark, such as Shiva or Winton or Chris. And this way you get a very solid commander with very good damage that also stuns. Second thing is the armor piercing. So what it does is that after the attack it will reduce the target's defense. So not only it's doing piercing damage, but also it helps the other commanders that are attacking by reducing the defense, because the piercing damage will only be affecting Grey Worm's attack. But when he reduces the defense of the target, it means that all the attacks from all the other commanders you have will also be doing a lot more damage. So this lasts for 5 seconds and can be triggered not more than once every 5 seconds, meaning it can be constantly on. Then the third thing is that, again, it's a spear-oriented commander. Each attack has a 40% chance to inflict bleed on the target. So not only the piercing damage and the extra added damage from the other commanders, he also does bleed for 3 seconds. So this is not a huge amount of bleed, but when you put it together with everything else, it adds up. And lastly, we can see that he's adding 180 prowess to all allies, meaning that he's adding more attack to the other commanders. This is something that Sabrina is doing in her guard skill, so she's very useful in such situations. But now we also get a second commander like this. So imagine if you put them together against rebel leaders, they would be doing quite a bit of damage. When you get Grey Worm, it's time to test him versus rebel leaders and see how good he is, because I believe he will be. Next, let's look at the Awakening. Now, as I said previously, he will be replacing Jaime, and he's actually addressing some of the difficulties that you're having when you're playing weakness with Jaime. The main difference here is that when you receive healing, the attack changes to weakness attack for 6 seconds. With Jaime, that is 5. So it means that when you have Sararer in the match with Grey Worm, you are constantly doing weakness attacks. There is no downtime, there is no cooldown like with Jaime. Here, it's always weakness attacks. So guys, this is the ultimate weakness strategy, to use Sararer with Grey Worm. Then, what else? For every weakness attack taken by the target lineup, weakness damage taken increases by plus 6%. Now with Jaime, it's plus 3, and as you know, with his weapon, that goes to plus 6. So currently, this is very good, because you get a commander that even without a weapon is doing as much damage as Jamie with a 4-star weapon. And imagine when the weapon for Grey Worm is released, he will be doing even more. And the last part of the skill, which I find very interesting, is that for every 10% of troops that we lose, the weakness damage taken will increase by additional 1%. And this can scale up quite a bit. Imagine if you're being countered by infantry and you lose quite a bit of your troops, then the remaining troops you have will be enraged and do a lot more damage. So in these situations you can actually win even against your counter, because you have this enrage effect that will give you the chance to deal a lot more damage. Lastly, of course, some of you will think, what if I use both Jamie and Grey Worm together? Apparently you cannot, because here it says that when you have both of them together, only Grey Worm's weakness effect will be active. You cannot use them together, you need to replace. And lastly, let me show you the formation that you can use. As I mentioned, Grey Worm and Sararer have to be together, and then you have the choice between the Night King, Dana, Baelish and Ayrmidon. Now, in any case, I would recommend to use Night King and Dana for any situation with Grey Worm and Sararer, and then Baelish you use whenever you're facing a female cavalry lineup, because he will make them attack themselves. And then Ayrmidon is someone that you should be using against other weakness marches, because he's also increasing the damage you deal, and that way you can kill the opponent faster. Dana will be great whenever you're facing infantry, because she will reduce the damage they do to you due to the counter, so that way you can survive longer. All in all, always use the Grey Worm plus Sararer plus Night King plus Dana, and then depending on the situation you can add either Baelish or Ayrmidon. So guys, this is the new commander. Let me know if you have obtained him now. Let me know if you plan to use him in the remaining Ultimate Conquest matches, and I'll see you on the next one.